The Dallas Morning News reporting the Cowboys have not yet had contract talks with George Pickens. Yesterday at the Pro Bowl, Pickens told reporters his value is up. He wants to be in Dallas. He may be open to being franchise tagged. His quarterback, Dak Prescott, was asked about improving the Cowboys' defense and had this to say.
Support off season. We know we got to get that side of the ball right, but we got to make sure that we mark the place and what we've done on our side of the ball. We got to get one of our guys signed and make sure that we take a big step on offense as well.
You said get one of your guys signed.
Yeah.
Which one you talking about?
Yeah, the guy out here. The guy out here that doesn't have the contract. No matter whichever way that they got to do it, he's an important piece of this offense, an important piece of what we're trying to do. And so leave it to those guys. Obviously, if I need to get involved, I've said it before, I will. But confident in Jerry and everybody who makes those decisions and how much he means to us.
All right, so Dak wants the guy. So what do you do?
He's so good. Like, just looking at that. He's just jumping over people, casually making one-hand catches. Like, I'm with Dak. Sign him up.
You would just give him the long-term deal right now.
J-Mac.
No, because sitting from where I'm sitting, going back to what Greeny said, where I don't have to have any accountability to any decision that I have to make. Yes, give him the bag, give him all the money. They're probably going to franchise him.
They are probably going to franchise him, and there are some good reasons for it. Number one, the franchise tag will probably come in a little under $29 million for wide receivers this year. That would make him, I believe, the 11th highest paid wide receiver as of now. They already pay CeeDee Lamb $34 million a year.
Yeah.
So when you say just get him signed, my question is always, for how much?
Yeah.
Is he going to want CeeDee Lamb money? In which case, I don't think the Cowboys can do that for a number of reasons. Is he going to be willing to be the Devontae Smith to CeeDee Lamb's A.J. Brown, the T. Higgins to
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase in the contract structure? If he'd do a deal in the mid-20s, high 20s, Dallas probably listens. But I don't think that's where he's thinking his value lies after the season he just had. The question is, how much do you want to spend on that one position in terms of resources? If you're Dallas, the way they've operated their salary cap over the last few years indicates that it's not going to be open and shut.
Let's be honest. What we're all really excited about is that franchise tag and to see if he'll play under the chair. There's a lot of dudes who'll walk out there. How hard you play for the franchise tag is a completely different thing. That, to me, is the most interesting. You start having that conversation about franchise, which is fair, and I fully agree. I would do the same, right? We saw a couple games where he looked very disinterested in the game. And so that's the balance that Dallas is going to have to kind of go through or tread lightly on how does this work out.
But that's the thing. The other thing about a long-term commitment, because he came from Pittsburgh with some warnings and some history about that kind of thing. Now it's possible he's getting older, maturing, whatever. Like it's possible he's put that behind him, and he was excellent for Dallas this year. I never heard any complaints from inside that building about the way he conducted himself, how hard he played, how hard he practiced. So you hope that, but if you're Dallas and you have the franchise tag at your disposal, and it's a pretty cool number, right? You're still going to get almost $29 million.
Yeah, players don't look at that as a cool number. I appreciate what you're saying.
No doubt about it.
That is not. We are one low hit away from a DB cutting your legs out. That it's a done deal. You'd much rather go long term, and I do appreciate the amount of money, but that doesn't change the fact that a long term deal secures him a completely different.
Yeah, if I'm George Pickens, like the hell with the franchise tag. Like he just had a career year. You try to maximize on that. So to what Graz is saying, you're sitting in the Cowboys seat, you're like, nah, let's kind of wait and see how this thing plays out over the course of a next season. But if you're Pickens, you're pushing the limit on that. Do not franchise tag me. I want a long-term deal. Doesn't have to be a 5-6 year. Give me a 3-year deal with a little bit more guarantees on it so I can maximize the season I just had.
It's going to be a fun offseason. It's going to be a fun.
And I want more. And I want CeeDee Lamb money.
Jerry in charge of it. This could be literally the day before the season. We've seen it, folks. The day before the season. We have a lot of fun ahead.
The other question on George Pickens is, can he rush the passer? Because that seems to me to be the real problem where they need to consider spending at least some of their money.
Those guys cost a lot, too.
Yeah,
they do.
Exactly. So we'll see one way or another. The D in Big D always stands for a little drama and maybe a little dysfunction. But this morning, it also stands for pain. There with the quarterback in Drake Maye, who injured his right throwing shoulder in the AFC Championship game. Last night was media night. He said he was feeling just fine after throwing in practice. That was the play in which he got hurt. Here's what he said last night.
Turn the corner. I think turn the corner, landing on the flight. Felt good from the flight and throwing out in the corner. And really had no doubt in being 100% for the game. This is a Super Bowl. We get 2 weeks to prepare for it. do whatever he's got to do to get it right, and I've got confidence and feel good. So.
Yeah.
I like that he
there we go.
Throws it in.
A little.
It got feeling pretty good in there. Well, I asked you this morning. He going to be okay? What'd you tell me?
Better medicine equals better football, baby. My man will be out there and ready to roll. It's going to have to be something during the game that keeps
Super Bowl, baby.
Super Bowl. These are, we always talk about, are you ahead of schedule? Are you all these different things for teams? When you make it to the Super Bowl, it is your time. It is your chance to shine. This kid is not letting a sore shoulder slow him down even a little bit.
He's a Tar Heel. He's tough.
But ain't no doubt.
Built
different.
There isn't any question that he's going to play. We had these conversations about Sam Darnold in the oblique going into their playoff games. Of course he's going to play. Yeah. These guys wait their entire lives for these opportunities. The question is it going to impact the way he plays? Will we not know that until the game starts, or are we convinced that with the medicine he's going to be just fine?
We'll know as soon as he takes that first hit. That's going to be the big thing for Drake Maye. He's a quarterback that uses legs. He got injured scrambling on a play. So how does Josh McDaniels handle this, their offensive coordinator? Does he allow him to have a design quarterback run early in the game to make Drake Maye feel comfortable that he can take a hit, that he can get up? Does he dial up a deep pass to see, hey, you're okay. You can make those type of throws, but we're not going to know. To your point, Jeff, he's going to be out there. He's going to do whatever he has to do. But now, once that game gets going, the juices start flowing, and you get hit. DeMarcus Lawrence is coming off that edge, and he hits you. Or Leonard Williams coming in your face. Now, how do you take those hits and get up?
I don't know if there's anything that tells you how young a guy is other than, he felt better after a flight. I never feel better after a flight. But look, he's 2 weeks between the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl is huge because he was limited in practice last week, and obviously there's something going on there. Now, what happens this week? Does he take limited reps? Does he take all the reps in practice? Does he still feel good this morning? After last night, because sometimes obviously that could be an issue, right? So we'll keep an eye on it, but obviously that's an extremely encouraging update from Drake Maye, who does not seem at all bothered by anything right now.
The reality is, he has been bothered, however, by playing great defenses. I was making a comment this morning in our meeting, and he's had a magnificent season. He may very well, in 2 days, be named the MVP of the year of the league. But if you had just watched the playoff games, again, against the Chargers, very good. Houston, very good.
Excellent.
Denver, all great defenses.
Excellent.
And the second half of the Denver game might as well not even count.
Yeah, for real.
But you would say to yourself, wow, this was the MVP? Like, he hasn't looked that way. Right. Do we expect it to look like that against a Seattle defense that might be the best of all of them?
Well, I think that you'd be remiss if you didn't say part of why he looks that way is because he's getting hit all the time. I mean, he's been sacked 15 times in the playoffs. Let me just tell you, any quarter, I don't care, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, name the greatest of all, who you think is the greatest of all time. You hit them, it changes them. And every player has that. So absolutely he hasn't looked the same because he's taken a beating back there. And that's just part of the game. And he has to work through it, still make the explosive plays when he can, find enough ways to win. Because at the end of the day, you win the Super Bowl, nobody cares about your playoff run.
No,
they don't care about your playoff numbers. They know your season stands for itself, and you win the Super Bowl, you hoist the trophy.
I guess my point is he's going up against a team that we just saw put some points on the board. Not only is their defense great, but my point is he was able to beat Jarrett Stidham with, one touchdown. I don't think that's going to be